Yay, what's up, Survivor Nation? I'm your host, Jeff, and welcome to the Dome Patrol United Survivor Podcast. We are live streaming from home because it's COVID 19 and we are not allowed to leave our homes and stream from where we normally stream, which is on the island, of course. Jeff Probst couldn't be here, so you're going to be stuck with me, the other Jeff. Also with us on the show, on my screen left is Scott. Welcome to the show. How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
hmm
What you got there? A little OJ?
Uh,
Got a little vodka in
no,
there?
this is some sort of new drink that we found. It's like an island punch or something, and it tastes a combination of pineapple, orange, coconut, mango, passion fruit.
So it tastes like something you would get at a reward challenge?
Yeah, I'm drinking it for the Survivor show, and I put a little.
Hey.
It tastes really good with vodka
I'm
or
sure.
rum or Malibu or any clear liquid
Nice.
alcohol. All right, Jason, welcome to the show. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. Really kind of excited from what we witnessed last night, which was one of, if not the best episode of the season so far. I think it was
Yeah.
really,
I thought
it
you
was
were talking about
really
the
up
Dome
there.
Patrol, the Dome Patrol UK guys, and their
Yeah, of
Thomas
course.
Morstead. By the way, if you haven't listened to it, folks, look in your podcast app. It's going to be the one that was published just before this episode, where the UK Dome Patrol UK interviews Thomas Morstead. We got a little cross promotion there, but yeah, let's talk about Survivor. Debbie's watching. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? She says yummy to the drink. All right. Yeah. So getting into Survivor, back into Survivor mode. Oh, one other quick tease before we do that.
Oh,
If you're gonna be online tonight, we will be live streaming during the NFL draft. It'll be the Dome Patrol New Orleans Saints Draft Spectacular. So make sure that you come back tonight for it. And right now, there's no alcohol in this one, but I'll have an alcoholic one tonight.
yes, you will.
My
We got-
Sonic may or may not contain alcohol.
That's right.
It's a Powerade slushy.
Yeah, we're tailgating. Happy draft day, everybody. And so, speaking of drafting, there was a draft on the island.
A wind?
You got
That
nothing.
wasn't-
I can't. Not all segues work. All right, what do we got?
That one did.
Did they start on? I can't even remember.
They did not start on
No,
Extinction.
they started showing Jeremy
Right
by
after-
himself.
Yeah, Jeremy by himself
That's
after
right.
travel.
That's right. That's right.
It's very
Um,
interesting showing the results of his get out of
His
get out of travel
dip-
council free card.
He's dipping out.
But I mean, he was right that
He
it
was
would have
right
been
to do
him.
it. He was right to do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He was right to do it for like his own game at that time, because he wouldn't have survived that vote, right?
No, yeah, no chance. He was 100% being
Yeah, 'cause
voted
they
out.
were going to steal a vote. There was no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the right move,
Yeah.
and then obviously it was the right move in the longer term because it saved him this time too.
Yep. He would have been like Sophie sitting on an idol and
Did he have an idol?
No, he did not.
Okay.
well, he had that
He just had the
the thing to leave. I mean, if he hadn't used it and get kicked off, it would have been useless.
But
Yeah.
James Baker, 2 live streams in a day. See you in about 3 hours.
He's supposed to be sleeping, James.
James, you're supposed to be
Right.
resting up.
yeah.
All right. What do we got? Glad he did that. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to jump straight into that. Let's talk about the earlier stuff first that happened, which was we did have quite the beginning, first half of an episode, especially I think by comparison to last week.
Yeah. Tony kind of saying he's, playing double agent, but he eventually went to the side he was supposed to be faking. He forgot which side he was on.
He was so deep. But hey, the double agent thing that he set out to do, but his ability to adapt and recognize, you know what? And even still, he was gonna play them to get their tokens that he needed for the extortion thing. And I think part of it might have been their willingness to help on top. He started to realize, wait a minute, this might be a better gig for me and Tony's playing. That's a little old school, is what he's doing. Is when those numbers are right and you have the majority, and you have the majority by one, you swing underneath, and now you got the majority over here, and you take out one of your competitors over here. It depends how many times can he swing that pendulum.
Yeah, I don't know, because next week, I think some people are going to be kind of pissed that he.
Well, definitely Sarah. I mean,
Sarah.
Sarah is his quote unquote partner coming into the game, so she's not going to be thrilled about it. But
How do
you know,
you're Tony, how do you win Sarah back? Like, how do you make sure she's not gonna see that as an attack on her? You're Tony.
Maybe tell him.
You're
Okay,
Tony.
let me ask. I know. That's what I'm
You're gonna
saying.
talk like this. You're gonna
I
talk
need
like
to
this.
ask. Did Tony go to Sarah and ask for any fire tokens?
No,
no, he did not.
not that they
Sh-
showed. Not that they showed.
Well, I'm wondering if
Oh.
she knows that he got fire tokens from somebody, because he could be like, "Look, in exchange for the fire tokens, I had to do that."
Aha!
I mean, he
That
could-
would be good. Okay, so Scott's gonna go the lying way. Got it. Okay.
Well, but I mean, kind of lying, but also spin the truth. Like, look, they gave me this disadvantage. It's extortion, man. It's extortion.
That was
When he
good.
was running in there, like sliding into the ground, like, "Look what the fuck."
I
is this
wanted.
dude
I didn't know if
doing?"
you were watching at the time that I was watching, but you remember last week when you were like, "I want to know why Tony was running and sliding."
Yeah.
And when I saw it, because I was watching pretty close to live, and I wanted to be like, "That's why."
It was really hilarious to watch him be so excited that he got this, only to realize, wah wah.
And I love that even him telling the story after he was playing all of us, because he's rehashing what happened, and he's giving it like.
I mean, he really is the most entertaining player. And, before we delve even more into this, let's not even we got to look at the fact that he went and got and found the hidden immunity idol,
Yeah.
right after the first morning when he went out there when everybody was sleeping. And then Nick comes along and he tells Nick, yeah, go look over there. I haven't looked over there yet.
Yeah.
Which
is where he had looked.
Right. So to be able to do that right away and get that, it was really a change of his game, because he said he was trying to other than the one episode with the Spy Shack, he's trying to be patient, lay low.
Well, wasn't it in this season, the first episode, they were kind of getting nervous about him because he ran off and looked for the idol on that camp?
Or no, he went in
second
a Spy
back.
Shack and he was gone for a while.
No, but I'm talking episode 1 when they
Really?
landed on the island, or was that last season somebody ran
I'm
off?
thinking.
It wasn't him. I think it was like Adam or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe so.
Looking for the idols.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay. Well, either way, okay, so Jason, the track you're going on, if Tony's building this resume not just to win this season, but I would argue if he does in fact win this season, I think he goes down as the best Survivor player in its 40 seasons.
It would be hard to argue. I mean, again,
He's gotta pass
whoever.
up Sandra, he passes Sandra up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's playing. I mean, right now he's playing a great game. He's adapting. He's doing all the right.
He hasn't, as of now, he hasn't had a single vote against him yet. That's that. And
I mean,
and
dude's
Smart-
got
and-
people to give him fire tokens to allow him to play and be at a challenge when they didn't need him to, or why would you want him to? I mean,
right? Yeah. They could have just said, "No, fuck it." Nope,
And,
sorry.
and beauty is he wins the thing, so he pays them back immediately. Nothing's better than paying your debts, right? I mean, now they really trust him. Then he backfires them, or backstabs them.
How
And
far? How long?
I would go back to my earlier question. I would go to Sophie if I'm Tony, and I would kind of I wouldn't necessarily.
Sarah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't lie to her or manipulate anything. I would tell her, Sarah, yes, you and I have a final 2. Getting rid of Sophie it has nothing to do with you. And she went, oh, well, Sophie was my number 1. Wait a minute, I thought I was your number 1. So maybe getting rid of Sophie, you're telling me was the right move? Is that what you're saying, Sarah? Huh? Sarah? Sarah? Huh? What are you doing? Huh?
I mean, I know they said they had an agreement before the game, but because I mean, Tony kind of crossed her the very first time they played. So I don't know. Would Sarah? Would Sarah really bring him to the end? That's debatable, because I'm sure she probably doesn't think she can trust him. So
How long ago was his season that he won?
it was probably
Thanks. Let's see.
maybe I'm thinking maybe 4 years, which would have been 7 or 8 seasons. Because his first season, he was there, Sarah was there, when Spencer and Cass, that was that season, Tony's first season, and when Wu inexplicably took Tony to the end. I'm thinking maybe 4 years ago, and then he came back, and he got bounced early.
It was the 28th season.
Wow.
So it was
12
like
seasons.
12
And
seasons ago.
later returned for the 34th season.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so you're talking about like
seasons
6
later,
years.
which was 3 years later. Boy, it didn't seem like that long, huh? Yeah.
I mean,
It
it
almost
really
felt-
does. It really doesn't. But a lot of these newer seasons kind of blend together. I mean, hell, you've had 40 of them.
Yeah. So yeah, Tony won in the 28th season.
But getting back to Tony possibly being, if he can hold off to win, being the greatest survivor ever. I mean, whoever wins this season is instantly gonna be on
In
this
the conversation.
on this higher
Yeah.
level. But I mean, man, if Tony can do it, knowing, from the beginning of the game, in addition to, outside of some of the old school famous players, I mean, Tony seemed to be a big target going in, not somebody who was ever going to fly under the radar. So for him, if he can hold on, I mean, it really, yeah, I mean, he's definitely got a good resume for being considered one of the best, if not the
He's
best.
going vertical next week. He's going to be up in the trees in the nest.
Tree
Okay.
shack.
Spy Nest.
Tree shack. Yeah,
It's
spy
Sky
nest.
Yeah.
So that ought to be interesting.
Sky Nest. Gotta watch those Terminators.
How funny would it be? So two people are sitting there talking, right? Tony's up in the tree, and all of a sudden he just falls out.
Boom. What do you guys do? I was just getting some coconuts.
I was getting some coconuts, yeah. Now, how funny would that be? If you're just sitting there, they don't even play it. Like they're just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden you just see this guy fall from the tree. I just pictured it.
I just see it landing flat too, like thump.
And then he gets up and then he just runs away. No, he just runs away.
I have him instantly having a story, like, I was jumping from tree to tree, getting some coconuts, and next thing you know, what do you think? Are they crazy guys? Bye.
So I know the
situation up there. He was saying
I know the situation worked out for him. He was borrowed the tokens, was able to pay him back. But do you think? I mean, I don't know if I agree with people on Extinction Island having this extortion thing, being people who have been voted out of the game to be able to demand so much from a player into game. Like that really could have completely upended Tony's game. Like let's say he gets the tokens and doesn't win, then it kind of it puts him behind the eight ball.
Oh Lord. Something wrong with what you said. You said being voted out of the game, and that's your problem. They weren't voted out of the game. They were voted off that island. They're still in the game. They're still playing. This is the third ever. This is phase 3 Survivor, man. We are entering a new era of Survivor with fire tokens, all kinds of different powers all over. They're coming at you from different angles and stuff. Like Jeff even said in Tribal Council, there's landmines everywhere. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what they're going to be. And I love this Survivor. I love what they're doing with it. And yes, I do love the fact that the people that were voted out have that ability to do it, because I would not like it if, what's the alternative? Production hands someone an idol. Production hands someone an extortion. You know what I mean? Like it's too easy to blame the producers for fixing the game as though it were Big Brother. This now allows, you know what, if the right person finds something, they're going to help your game or hurt your game. And I love that it's always been positive things now, and this was the first negative thing that he had to pay in order to play. I love that.
But he got the guy that's still, I mean, look, yes, technically Extinction people are still in the game, but it's going to be very difficult and only one gets back, whereas this guy is still in the game, didn't get voted out by his tribe, and he got fucked, basically.
Welcome to Survivor.
And it's multifaceted because,
like Debbie just said, these are winners, man. This isn't like somebody's first time playing the game. They're playing for $2 million.
Yeah. And it's multifaceted because the people getting the tokens on Extinction Island are using that to buy an advantage, possibly, in the challenge to get back into the game. So you take, you say, I mean, they store them for 6 tokens. I'm assuming they split them between Parv and the other girl.
Yeah, probably
3 and 3.
Okay, so I guess looking at it, like let's say Tony would not have been able to borrow enough tokens. Like 6 tokens is very steep.
Yeah.
Maybe that
then he
played into it, because if he wasn't able to borrow that, then he's shit out of luck. He can't compete in the challenge, and
right.
What was the other? And he doesn't.
He couldn't vote,
and he would not be able to vote in Tribal.
And he can't vote. That's. I mean, it didn't matter because he got the token. Yeah, it's fucking extortion. But
don't you think that should be expensive?
It's it's an incredibly steep penalty, I think, that could have completely ruined his game.
It's game, baby.
Wah, wah.
It's time to play the game.
Oh shit!
That's,
All right.
I know the wrong song.
It's a different
Okay.
song. But anyway,
I know. It's what happened. It's what happened. Okay.
and that's really all Extinction Island. All they really had was
Yeah.
showing them getting that.
You know what? They need to have the get back in the game challenge pretty soon, I think.
I agree. I really am going to be upset if it's one of these 5 people left and somebody's like slides in at the end, like they didn't even have to play the game. I know it's almost like if I knew we were going to be playing a season with Extinction Island, I might intentionally get voted out just so I can coast and then get back in at the end. I don't have to have all the mental I mean, all these people are like mentally exhausted and paranoid. At least, yes, the Extension Island is tough, and I don't think it's as tough as they portray it to be. I'm pretty sure, like behind that rock, is like with
or
cots
like beds,
and, yeah, air conditioning,
showers.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a cheat code to come back from extension that late.
You know, because they in the previews they didn't show any kind of get back in the game challenge. So I don't know. Maybe they're just hiding it from us. But I just think that needs to happen.
Oh, I missed
sooner rather
coming
than
up
later.
next because of the dang weather alerts. So
No,
They showed it on the CBS site.
I stopped after. I'm not gonna wait and
Okay.
watch commercials just so I can see previews for next week.
You didn't want to wait a minute and a half to watch 3 commercials that were
I
30
don't.
seconds.
No, I don't. I don't like
Time is
that.
too valuable,
Yes, it is. It is.
as we all know.
Yep. All right. So now Sophie heads to Extinction. All right. Let's talk about Tribal. Because the challenge, honestly, I don't think the challenge is worth talking about. It was meh.
Well, I do want to say one thing about the challenge. When it got down to Tony and Jeremy, did it seem like Jeremy just gave up? Like he jumped off that beam pretty quick.
I think he either fell, lost concentration, or he. I think maybe it looked like a lightheaded moment, like he was about to.
I don't
pass
know.
out.
He got off as soon as Ben went. He jumped off of that beam pretty
But
quick.
why would he give it?
Maybe that was
Maybe
just
he
editing.
was. Maybe it was a loyalty thing to Tony. I don't know.
No,
like saying, "Hey, I'm on your side. Don't vote for me," kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't think it's the case. I mean, Jeremy has to know he's on the chopping block.
Yeah.
He had to do whatever he can to try to win.
Visibly upset, and I don't think that was acting about what had happened. Hey, Dave Beard, hail to the donkey train, and he's even posted a little fleur-de-lis emoji because he knows it's draft day.
Right.
All right, so we get to, the scrambling on the camp. So Jeremy hates Ben at this point, which is kind of interesting because Adam hated Ben. A lot of people hate Ben. Like, is Ben? I wonder how aggravating of a person Ben is. And I see it in I could see like having conversations with him when you see other people talking to him. He's kind of aggravating. He's a hard person to talk to.
Seems that way from what they've shown. I really wish every episode was 2 hours. I think there's so much more that
Every time Jason says it should be 2 hours.
Right. I really think there's so much material that they really could have put in here for a season like this, and it's a damn shame that they did.
I think an hour and a half.
That's worth buying the DVDs, right? You know, that's why you buy the DVDs.
If they did come out with a re-edited version, with like an extended version, I think I would probably buy it.
Yeah, Debbie's right. Ben's an irritant. It's a good word. I'm gonna start using that about people. He's an irritant.
I think hour and a half would be good.
Yeah, or I like not even buy the DVD. Yeah, obviously, you know, it's 2020. Like I'd buy the stream, whatever. You know, I'd buy it on Amazon Prime or something if it gave me 2 hours an episode, or it gave me.
Right.
Yeah.
See, if y'all watch the challenge, it goes an hour and a half.
What?
The challenge on MTV.
Oh,
It's an hour
I
and a
thought
half.
you meant the immunity challenge. I'm like, we did watch it, and it was only an hour.
No. The challenge.
Oh, Scott brought up the challenge on MTV. Drink.
So, but by Tony winning immunity again, really gives him the confidence to try to make the move, you know,
To save
that he
Jeremy.
made.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. So okay, so they're all doing what they're doing. Everybody is pretty confident that they're gonna vote out Jeremy, right? And the minority tribe, were they also voting out Jeremy? Was Tony
Well,
lying?
Kim,
I missed that.
It seemed like Kim and Denise had flipped over and they were going to vote. You know, because they were going to vote with the majority and,
Try to win
split the
favor.
votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and split the votes. You know, that's the crazy part about having a split vote. It's like, yeah, you want to protect yourself against somebody having an idol, but it could also leave you vulnerable, like what happened this week.
Tony,
You know, if they'd have just put all their
he
five in.
extorted or exploited that situation. But knowledge is power in this game. He knew this was the time to pull something like that. And he, like he said, I'm gonna take a couple votes from this one. I'm gonna take a couple votes from this one. We're gonna save Jeremy. We're gonna get Sophie out, and my number one now has no conflict of interest. Genius move if he can keep Sarah from being too mad at him for orchestrating it. And even,
Right.
but here's why she shouldn't be, because her answer to Jeff's question was probably one of the best answers I think I've ever heard in tribal council, where she said something to the effect like, "We are all winners here." This is like, so she's talking about, I have a respect if you can pull that off. She even said, if you're able to pull off a blindside, then that's a reason why you are the better player in this game. And then he goes and does it. So he should throw her own words back at her and say, you literally just said, I'm the best player. Now that might backfire on him, but she didn't get the best player out.
I mean, that is the one question. Is it too early to make, you know, like, is this going to come back and bite him to where people now realize, holy shit, he's building a pretty big resume?
I really think that Tony's gonna be on the chopping block just because, I mean, if you look at Kim and Denise, they kind of like, at least kind of figured out, hey, I think he's playing a double agent kind of thing. Now you're gonna have Sarah pissed off at him. You're gonna have,
He's got to win immunities now. He's got a necklace. So here's the thing. He can, if he doesn't win immunity next week, he can, so whatever week he doesn't win it. So he's got at least, if he can keep winning immunity or not, he's got at least a 2 week reprieve. Usually by then the target's moved.
if he uses it.
If he, right. Well, I mean, I would almost use it in no matter what, especially if I know that I can find it again. I'll use it. I'll go find it. I'll use it. I think that's who did that? Russell.
Ben.
Russell was famous for that.
Well,
Right,
but
or
Ben towards the end found it. He
Well, I
find
think
a shit ton of
production gave it
immunities.
to him each time, which is what.
Well, they also gave him the make a fire at
Yeah.
4 to keep him in the game.
Right, and I think that production's going to give Tony an idol over and over. I mean, do you think Tony found that idol
That rock just happened
on his
to be
own?
there. Never know. In the dark.
It's like, at this point they're hiding it under a rock next to a tree. Come on, like, this is so lazy. But hey, you know what? I don't mind it if it's Tony that's getting them. I would be upset if it was like somebody unworthy. But okay, so if he is smart at this point, his whole thing was to he corralled that group to vote out the weak players, right? Let's keep the power players in the game. Now that he's got them all lined up in one place, he's almost lined them up for the firing squad, because now he's going to the weak players and he's getting rid of the power play. I mean, Jeremy was a threat for him to win immunity challenges, and that's the only way he's gonna, I think, make it, is he's got to next take out who's the next most likely person to beat him in an immunity challenge, and that's who he's got to start taking out.
It's going to be hard because he's got the
Ben.
Yeah, I mean, because his old alliance, like, you know, Sarah may be okay with him, but a lot of these other people aren't going to be thrilled with what he did. So now, you know, he can't just go back to that majority alliance. Theoretically, you know, they don't know he's got an idol, but
No.
they could, you know, they now outnumber him, you know, and his crew. I don't think he can just go back to him. I mean, I guess a lot of it's going to depend on Sarah.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can't imagine, like, Ben's not going to work with him. Kim and Denise.
I don't think he cares if and think about it. Jeremy is now going to be loyal to him, right? Because he's got Jeremy.
He's got Jeremy, he's got Michelle, and he's got Nick.
Nick, you think? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Nick was
I
with
think
him.
Nick
Four
voted
of
with him
them
and
again.
him.
Ben,
Sarah,
Sarah,
Denise,
Kim. Sarah may be with him, so let's do that. Now he's got the majority, but even still,
Right.
4-4, it comes down to power. Who's got a power to play at the right time? But if he saves himself, and I mean, yeah, so he needs Sarah to
there's-
come over, and then he
Is there
also
only 8 left? Are we missing somebody?
I
No, 'cause
feel
it
like
was
we're missing
5-4.
somebody.
It was
Why did I think
5-4.
it was 4-3-2 was 9? Okay, yeah. So that was
Yeah.
So it's down to 8.
So
Yeah, it's
if
4-4.
he can pull
Okay.
Sarah and Denise,
Well, technically, all he needs is Sarah. If he has Jeremy, Michelle, and Nick, all he needs is Sarah. That's 5 and 3.
if he can pull Sarah and Denise, then he can say bye to Ben.
Yeah, you can.
That's what I would do if I was on. I'd-
I think Denise is gonna go with whatever Kim goes with.
Kim and then yeah, Kim will play with Denise. At this point, Kim doesn't have a resume anymore. I think she was starting to build one and she lost it. Denise hasn't done anything since she got rid of Sandra.
Right.
Um,
He's got to get rid of either Ben, Kim, or Denise.
yeah, and I think he's got the numbers to do it. Even
If he
pissing
can
people
get
off.
Sarah. If he can get
If he
Sarah.
can get Sarah, right. Now, does she have a power? She played her only power, right? And Sophie got voted out with an idol. She should have never said with an idol. She shouldn't have told people that. However,
Oh, because
well,
now
Tony
will
can
that
look
idol
for
go
that
back
idol.
into play?
Unless she bought it, I guess. Did she
No,
buy it or
no.
she found it?
No, I think she found it.
Okay, then yeah,
Found
I
it.
would say it's back on the island, and Tony can go get that. Dude, could you imagine if he has two idols and
Wow.
wins an immunity?
Jeez.
Goes to the end.
The greatest player of all time.
That's right. He's the Drew Brees of Survivor. All right, final thoughts before we close this mother out and get ready
Final
for the
thoughts.
draft.
I just, sad to see Sophie was my second choice after Wendell.
Oh,
So I lost Sophie. So she's on the scrap heap. I still
Jeez.
think I'm still hoping. I still pulling for Wendell to in the get back in the game challenge. But I just thought it was a fantastic episode. And Tony, I didn't want to pick Tony because I just thought he was too big of a, too big of a character. He would never make it to the end. But
But he looks like the leader right now.
you know,
Kind of the odds-on favorite, I would think. Wouldn't I mean?
Yeah, and Sarah said
It's-
he's not a social player. I disagree, Sarah. I think he is.
he's. I mean, look,
Oh,
he
by the way,
got
the
people
fashion
not in his
show-
alliance to give him a token. He's definitely a social
Yeah,
player.
yes, I agree. Sarah doesn't understand what it is. I think the fashion show was a piece of the edit that could have stayed on the floor, and they could have given us more gameplay. I don't know.
More cowbell.
I got a fever. All right, Scott, final thoughts?
I still have Denise in the game and Parv on extinction, so she's got some fire tokens. Maybe she can get an advantage in the challenge when to get back in the game. We'll see.
Okay.
And you still have what? Rob and
Tyson.
who's your other one? Tyson.
No. Did I pick Tony last week?
I don't remember.
You might have.
I know I didn't pick Ben or Denise or Kim.
Or Nick.
I think you picked Michelle.
You did
I
pick
did
Michelle
not
out of spite.
pick- Oh, out of spite. Not really.
Yeah.
And we almost got rid of her.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like picking Tony now. I mean, I'll pick Tony if I can, if you'll let me. But I feel like
Well,
it's
you
kinda
didn't-
like
you
I'm
didn't
just
lose
picking
anybody.
in the hot hand.
You didn't lose anybody. You have to stick with
I mean,
Michelle.
did I pick Tony? I don't even remember. Oh wait, you saying really you gonna stick me with Michelle? That was a joke.
You picked her. You said I'm picking Michelle.
You did,
Debbie
in
says
the hopes
she
to get rid of her.
Debbie said, "Take it easy." Say, well, I think Denise is a badass. Bye, Debbie. Good to see you. Maybe we'll see you later tonight for the NFL
Yeah.
draft. All right. So speaking of that, say this is all the show we have for you right now for the Survivor episode. We're going to thank our loyal listeners for downloading each week and telling all of your friends about the Dome Patrol United podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Dome Patrol US and at Dome Patrol UK. Follow us on YouTube to watch live broadcasts. Follow us on Facebook to watch live broadcasts. Everywhere when we post memes, we're on Instagram, I think, and we are also on your podcast app, which is on all kinds of different things. And we are on Dome Patrol Podcast.
.com.
Say bye-bye, donkeys.
Bye bye, fire token donkeys.
The tribe has spoken.
All right.